And if you can just lay on the earth, so we want to have the back body, the spine on the earth, but lift your feet up. So if you can put your legs up the wall, up a bed, up a chair, if you just take a stack of cushions or towels or books or anything, just if when you lay down, you want your feet to be higher than your head. So we're going to take a few minutes here to just sort of tune into the structure, tune into the skeleton, find a little groundedness. We are still in the full moon energy. The moon is still in Capricorn today. It was exact yesterday. So technically, like, we're coming past the most full point, but we're still in that. And so I was just talking about, Capricorn, or the cardinal earth energy, often has this reputation as a disciplinarian, as a masculine sort of strict father figure. And elements in astrology all are fluid, just like we're learning more and more about our own experiences. There's a fluidity, there's a spectrum, there's a vibration. So on one end, Capricorn does have this rigid, strict disciplinarian, but on the other side, earth is yin element. So earth and water are yin elements. So right now the sun is in water sign, a very maternal, nourishing water sign, and then the moon is in the earth sign. It is in this cardinal earth sign. And we were just talking about how it's almost like the elder on the mountain. So there's been all kinds of heroes' journeys and stories about the young hero or heroine who goes through these tasks to find the teacher, right? The guru, the teacher on the mountain. And most of the time that teacher teaches in a rather unorthodox way to help them to understand the wisdom that's already within them. And so this full moon doesn't feel as juicy and necessarily all gushy the way some full moons do. There is an edge to this kind of full moon. There is a boundary that is asking to be placed. There is a boundary that is asking to be met. There is an opportunity to look at the shadow around the areas we're not setting boundaries, the areas that we are not stepping into our own authority or respecting that higher inner authority, that we are not honoring the wisdom that is available. And so the pulsation with this full moon is, how can we be nourishing and emotional and maternal, and also boundaries, authority, and our sort of our wisdom, right? How can we have both of those? So as we lie here on the earth, feel your spine. In astrology, Capricorn is connected to the bones. And so in this energy, whenever the moon is in this energy, we always feel into the bones. We feel into the dense muscles that wrap around the bones. We feel into the structure of the skeleton to guide us. And the sun energy right now is in the chest, the breast, the womb, the belly. So we have this dance between the structure and protection of our bones, and then the soft, sort of sweet areas of the chest and the belly. And so the more we have that foundation and that protection, the more we can be in healthy relationship with those softer, more feminine areas of the body. And again, feminine not referring to gender. And so feel your skull, gently tuck your chin, feel the back of the skull press into the earth. With the fingers of your mind, feel along the little vertebra of your neck, down into the shoulders and blades, into where the shoulder plugs into the arms into the shoulders. Feel the bones of the arms and the fingertips. Let the bones of the arms settle to the earth, the bones of the arms, the bones of the skull, the bones of the neck grow heavy. And then moving through following the arms and shoulders up into the collarbones, the breastbones, and then feeling the bones of the ribs that are protecting, again, the vulnerability of the heart and lungs, the chest and our breast muscles and glands lifted up above the ribs that wrap around, meeting the spine again, feeling the spine, the upper and mid spine, heavy, heavy into the earth. Feeling the low back, heavy, heavy into the earth, the tailbone, sacrum, heavy into the earth, and how it wraps around into the bowl of the pelvis. Again, protecting the womb energy, the reproductive organs, the imprint of fertility and creativity. Feel the bowl of the pelvis go heavy, heavy, the sits bones, heavy, heavy. And then where the femur bones plug into the hips, connecting to the knees, the two bones of the shin, down into the intricate bones of ankles and feet. Feel the feet plug into the ankles. Feel the toes plug into the feet. Feel the bones of the legs grow heavy, heavy, heavy. The bones of the legs heavy, strong, settling. The bones of the pelvis heavy, strong, settling. The bones of the spine and the arms heavy and settling. The bones of the ribs and the chest, the neck and the skull. You are lying here, this beautiful luminous skeleton in the full moon light, this beautiful luminous skeleton, strong, aligned structure. Take a moment to feel your skeleton from the skull down to the toes align itself with the earth. Take a big, big breath in, feeling into your bones, bones heavy and full with the moon. Hold the breath, feel your bones. Open mouth, empty everything out. Let the bones sigh. Again, inhale, breathe, feel the skeleton hug in as you breathe. Hold that full moon breath. And the bones sigh and relief and release. One more time, just imagining your skeleton breathing, holding, harnessing the full moon potential to recognize your authority, to set the appropriate boundaries, to take responsibility for your wisdom, your life. Open mouth, the bones sigh, the bones that connect us to the earth, to our ancestors. And then start to move the bones. As we start to move the bones, we become aware of the muscles, the tendons, the blood, the sinew. Start to wiggle and stretch. And as you move through the practice, keep coming back to this idea that your skeleton is what moves you around. It's what gives us structure and boundary. And of course, the muscles and ligaments and tendons and blood and all the other good, gushy, yummy things we're made up of. The beautiful, rich organ body and systems that we need the bones. If you've ever broken a bone or had an issue with your skeletal system, it changes everything. Gratitude for the bones of our body, the bones of the ancestors, the bones of the earth. If the legs are up, go ahead and draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug. Hug the bones into center, nourishing and nurturing from the bones out. Go ahead and roll to the left side, lunar side. And then go ahead and stand your bones on up to the top or the middle or the back of the mat. Find your mountain. So mountain is another symbol for this full moon, the mountain energy. So feet about hip width distance apart. Shrug the shoulders, plant your feet, give yourself a little shake. Arrive here now, our full moon practice, our cardinal earth practice, this first full moon after the solstice. Place your feet, lift your toes, so the four corners of the feet, the little bones of the feet make the connection to the earth. Inhale, reach the arms up, hold, open up like a chalice, opening towards that big bright full moon. Exhale, pull down to center. Fun fact, the moon is considered out of bounds right now. She's a little bit off the normal axis. Press down through the feet, inhale, reach up. Just means it looks a little bit different, creates a little bit more of a wild card energy. Exhale, pull down. One more time, ground through the feet, reach through the tips of the fingers. Imagine your bones reaching up and then also rooting down. And then pull down, hand to heart, hand to belly. We'll chant to the moon. We'll chant Om Purnima Namaha. We chant to the full moon, the Purnima. Big breath in. Om Purnima Namaha. Release your hands to the sides, traditional Tadasana, lengthen through the fingers, through the toes. Feel the entire body active, alert. Feel the boundaries of your body. You can rock and shift a little side to side to feel the container of the body. Really feeling into your authority, into your power, into the space you hold here on your mat. Feel the energy out your fingertips, your toes, up through your crown, down through the tailbone. And then inhale, gather it up, reach up, big stretch. Exhale, swan dive down, bend the knees as you need to, fold to the earth. Inhale, halfway lengthen, flat back. Exhale, soft knees fold. Inhale, gather it right back up, reach up, feel all the bones reach up. And then exhale, hands to heart. Again, soft knees. Inhale, circle up, Ardha Surya Namaskar. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, gather it up, reach. Hands to heart. One more like that. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bow to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bring it up, big stretch. This time, swan dive right back down. Hold Uttanasana. Feel free to put blocks under your hands. Bend your knees, little ragdoll. Just let it all go. Empty out the contents of the brain. Again, feeling into the bones of the feet, the bones of the legs. As you bow, as you release. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, gather it up, reach up, right hand to left wrist, pull up and over for the side bend. Feel the lengthening through the bones of the arms, the ribs, rooting down through the hip, down through the heel of the left foot. Inhale, reach up, grab for the other side. So noticing the boundaries of the body, how they stop, right? You can only draw those muscles so far. Sometimes we need to move the bones. You feel the bones stretch, lengthen. We can adjust the bones. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, forward fold. We've all heard the bones pop and crack, or if you've been to the chiropractor. Sometimes we need to move the bones. Inhale, lengthen up halfway. Exhale, step right foot back about 6 to 8 inches. Square the hips, lengthen up halfway. Again, feel free to have those blocks on your hands. Fold towards the left leg. Feeling into that pyramid pose. Soft knees, shake out the head. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, right foot steps in and fold. Bend the knees deep, lift up into chair, hands to heart, or reach your arms towards the sky. Squeeze the legs in. You can always stick a block between the thighs. So if you have trouble with boundaries, if the joints are splaying out, use support to hug the bones towards center. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, left foot steps back about 6 inches. Square the hips. Put support under your hands as you need. Fold towards that front leg. Shake it out. Breathe as you fold towards the right leg. Feel the lengthening in the muscles as we bow towards the bones. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, step it up. And bow. Bend the knees deep, hands to hearts, or heart to earth, hands to sky. Breathe into your chair, warming up those big muscles of the quadriceps. Squeeze in, lift your heart towards the full moon. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up, reach up, lift. Exhale, hands to hips, and then point your fingertips down. Roll the shoulders back, standing cobra. Tuck your chin or roll your throat open, soften your knees. Take a big inhale. Exhale, release the hands, forward fold, pour it down. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, step the right foot all the way back, knee down to the mat. Feel free to pad the knee. Hug the legs in towards center. Inhale, reach up, Anjaneyasana. Take a big breath. Exhale, hands down, look up, step the right foot up. Bend the knees deep, stretch into your chair, hands low or high. Squeeze the legs in. Feel free to use that block. Open your chest. Exhale, fold. Legs straight, inhale halfway. Exhale, left leg back, knee down. Pad the knee, hug in towards center. And then reach up for the full moon. Big stretch, lift up, inhale. Exhale, hands down, look up, step up and fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, bend into the knees. Inhale, chair pose, sink down, lift up through the heart. Big breath in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bow. Inhale, gather it up, reach up. Hands to heart. Inhale, lift up onto your tippy toes, squeeze the legs. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up onto the tippy toes. Exhale, down. Again, inhale, up on the tippy toes. Exhale, down. Last time, inhale, up on your tippy toes. Big breath, hold, lengthen. Exhale, heels down, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, step the right leg all the way back, knee down. Squeeze the legs, reach up, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, open up towards the sky, squeeze towards center. Exhale, hands down. Tuck the back toes, step it in about halfway, fold into that pyramid pose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, walk your hands in, lift the right leg up, hip height, standing split. So again, that idea of still hugging to the boundary, squeeze the legs together, lengthen the spine, or start to bow in, maybe find a little balance. Point the back toes down, they don't have to be lifted very high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold, bend the knees deep into chair, squeeze the legs, lift the heart, pause. Arms can be extended, but just lift the heart. Inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, left leg back, knee down. Hug into center, reach up, Anjaneyasana. Stretching for the moon, hug up as you squeeze in. And then bring the hands down, step back, foot in about halfway, fold into pyramid. Square the hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold over front leg. Inhale, lengthen, walk the hands forward, lift the left leg up to hip height. Square your hips, lengthen your spine, keep the integrity, or start to fold in towards center. But feel the boundaries of the spine, the arms, the legs. Again, that skeleton that was lying on the earth. Big breath. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees into chair, hold. Breathe. Squeeze the legs, put that block in if you need to. Lift your chest, pull the belly in. Open up through the heart. Can you lift your heart? Can you lift your crown to the full moon? Can you sink it a little more? Femurs are the biggest bones of the body. They got the quads here on one side, the hamstrings on the other. Take another breath. Exhale, fold. Whew. Shake it out. Release here. A little mobility, a little rocking, bending. Feel back into the integrity of your joints. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Step the right leg back, knee down. Hug in, reach up for Anjaneyasana. Big stretch. Hug in. Lift towards the sky. Exhale, release the hands down, look up, step halfway in for pyramid. Fold towards that left leg, squeeze the legs, square your hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, walk the hands forward. Lift the right leg up. Stay with standing split or stack the right hip. Take the right hand to the right hip, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So you're either staying with that standing split or we're starting to stack up onto that left side. Left hand is planted, left foot is strong, opening the chest, maybe reaching the right arm up. Take another big breath wherever you are. Hug bone to muscle, muscle to bone, root and rise up. Take an inhale. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold in. Ragdoll, let it go. One more side. Left leg steps back, knee down. Squeeze into center, reach up, Anjaneyasana. Stretch for the full moon. Squeeze the legs in, open your heart. Big breath. Exhale, hands down. Gently step it in with intention, with integrity, with alignment. Come into that pyramid. Hug towards center, square everything off. Lengthen the spine. Inhale, stretch forward. Exhale, fold in. Walk the hands forward, lengthen up. Lift the back leg hip height. Stay here, start to stack the left hip. Maybe left hand to left hip. We should still see the left toes in peripheral vision. Right hand is down, right foot is planted. You can also extend the left arm, squeeze the legs together, open the chest. Wherever you are, feel every bone in the body. Inhale. Exhale, Uttanasana, hold that ragdoll. Let it go. You can stack up your blocks to rest your forehead on here, or grab opposite elbows, or just anything that feels good. Just really tune into this forward fold here. Lift the toes, feel the corners of the feet, shin bones, femur bones, decompressing whole spine, all the way down to the fingertips and the skull. Bend the knees, and if it's available, step back to down dog or just stay in your Uttanasana. If down dog is available, really take up space on the mat. Take a nice wide, stable down dog. Press your hands down, press your big toe ball mounds down, soften your knees, lift your hips. So again, think about the bones lengthening here in all directions, that pelvic bowl down to the skull. Fingers and toes. And again, you can stay in that standing forward fold, totally fine. In either variation, can you feel yourself get a little bit longer? You might start to explore down dog, but keep the integrity of the pose, keep the stability. Stretch back. And then bring yourself into child's pose. So again, if child's pose isn't available for you, you can stay in that standing forward fold. Otherwise, knees wide, big toes together. Sit back on your heels, forehead down, arms extended, or take your hands and reach for the feet. Even here, letting everything ground, everything settle. Receiving all that opening of the legs, of the back body, structure. Inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. And then slowly roll yourself up. If you're seated, go ahead and roll down, and we're going to come on to the back. So if you have again, a block or a strap, please go ahead and grab it as you make your way down onto the back. The knees are bent with the feet comfortably wide. You can open the arms out to the sides or stretch the arms up overhead, but just find a little windshield wiper flow. So just rocking the knees side to side, have plenty of space here. One thing that's really nice about windshield wipers is you can feel the tailbone gently being massaged, the tailbone and sacrum. Helping to release the pelvis, just let the knees rock. You relax your head and keep it neutral, letting the back of the skull press and lengthen into the mat, or you can roll the head gently side to side with the knees. And as the knees settle to the right, go ahead and separate the feet even wider. You can put support under the right thigh or option to stack the right foot over the left. You can open the arms up overhead or rest them down. Let the whole back body again get heavy as you breathe into this twist. Let's slow down the breath. So I know we got a little bit of energy and heat moving. Like I said, this is a full moon that does like a little bit of work. And now as we start to kind of ground it out, let's tune into the breath. So slow, steady breath as we start to release the muscles, the bones, start to find that softening of the boundaries. Having established that strength and structure, the effort to climb the mountain, to seek the wisdom keeper within. Now we start to create a little quiet, a little space for that wisdom to come through. Take a breath. Side out, release that right foot if it was lifted. And again, just find that little rock side to side, just rolling the knees side to side. Let the head and neck go. Sometimes the bones like to move, right? And let the knees go to the left. Take the feet really wide, maybe support under the left thigh or stack the left foot on the right thigh. Arms down or up and open. Relax the shoulders and the face. Allow the space, the softening. Feel into the jaw, the sockets of the eyes, and even the teeth, right? The teeth are bones that plug in to the gum line, all those places that the bones plug in, and the joints and the teeth. Rest into the bones. Without the bones, where would anything else go? It's the structure, the skeleton. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly unwind again. Side to side, maybe roll the skull around. And then slowly bring the feet to about hip width distance apart. Press down through your feet, press down through your palms, lift up into bridge. So if you need to put a block between the thighs, again, to get that structure, get that stability, dig the elbows into the mat, lift the chest. Take a big, big breath in as you lift. Exhale, roll down vertebra by vertebra, nice and slow till we press the pelvis and the tailbone down. And then draw the right knee in, slide the left leg out long. You can keep that right knee hugging in towards the chest. Give it a little rock or just draw it in. If you have a strap or rope or towel nearby and you want to make sure you can grab it, go ahead and do that. And then when you're ready, you can hold behind the thigh, or you can take your strap or towel onto the right leg. Now plug the right hip into the mat as you extend. So really imagine just the bones on the leg and the feet here, right? So you plug the hip in and then lengthen out, yeah. And then feel the base of the skull, the shoulder blades, the tailbone, and the heel of the left leg, really grounding you and rooting you and connecting you to the earth. And now how slow and deep can you breathe through the bones, through the body? Slow, slow, steady breath. You might find the pause at the top of the breath, which is the full moon point. Let the eyes settle into the sockets. Long spine, long legs. Deep breath in. As you exhale, can you draw the leg closer to the body, keeping the length? Good. We're going to begin to open the leg out to the right. So if you are using a strap or a towel, then you'll hold in the right hand. Take the left hand to the left hip or out to the left, as an anchor. And slowly, methodically start to open the right leg out to the right. The knee can bend, energy through the toes. And are you plugging the shoulder blades, the tailbone, that opposite heel and hip into the earth? Getting a nice opening through the hip and continuing to open through the calf and the hamstrings. Slow, steady breath. This is a great full moon for the strap series, especially since we're on the tail end of it. We're on the outgoing full moon energy. So really grounding, really stabilizing. Big breath in. Exhale here, lengthen through the leg, lengthen through the spine, through the skeleton. Create a little more space here on the earth. And then soften the left knee, slowly draw the leg up, pause at center again. See if you can go a little deeper into hand to foot here, maybe not. Maybe the boundary is set, right? If you notice those other bones lifting up, then you're pushing past the boundary. Good. Now, if the left leg is bent, go ahead and slide that left leg out long in the middle of the mat. You might shift the hips just a little bit to the right. And if you're using a strap or a towel, take it in the left hand and then reach the right arm out to the right like an anchor. Slowly start to draw the right toes towards the left shoulder. So you're going to feel a big opening through the IT bands. And you might stay there. That might be the boundary, or you might be able to lengthen up and over so much you come into cat twist, pulling up and over all the way to the other side there. Yeah, so for the twist to happen, the right shoulder would stay down and that right foot would be over at the left. And then you can shift your hips even more to the right. Good. And then if you want to go into the full pose, your bottom leg, you would bend it. And with your right hand, you'd hold the left foot as you really draw that right leg up and over to the right. Now, you can just stay with the boundary of the IT stretch. That might be plenty. Or you come into the deep twist here. But otherwise, just make sure you're really lengthening that left leg straight down the mat. Really reaching right leg up and over to the left for a few more breaths. Try to plug the shoulders down. Soften your jaw. Take a big, big breath in through the nose. And sigh out. Draw the leg back up through center, both hands to the leg. One more stretch here. Good. And then hug that right knee in. Give it a nice hug. Release the strap for a moment. Place the right foot down. Left foot down. Let's come back in that bridge. You can put the block between the thighs if the back is hurting or if you feel like the knees were splaying out. Dig the elbows into the mat. Root your feet as you lift your hips. Opening the chest. Option here, lift up onto your tippy toes. So lift your heels. Squeeze your legs. Create a little more space. Feel the calves. Feel all the muscles in the legs as you lift your chest. Don't lose your boundary. Don't let those knees split open. Good. Lower the heels and then lower one vertebra at a time. Plug tailbone down as you bring the left knee in, switching sides. So we'll give yourself a moment as you gather the left knee in. You might slide that right leg out straight or keep it bent. If you're using a strap or scarf or something, make sure it's nearby. And then if and when you're ready, let's extend the leg up. So extend and then plug. Skull, shoulder blades, tailbone, and maybe the heel of the opposite leg. Deep, slow breath. Big, big breath in. exhale here. So if you can extend the leg up as you perhaps draw it a little bit closer to the body while keeping the connection of the skull, the shoulders, the hip. Good. And then speaking of the hip, we'll start to move into the hip opener. So holding the strap in the left hand, right hand to the right hip or out as a anchor. Soft left knee as you start to open out to the left. Slowly, slowly roll the shoulders, lengthen the tailbone. Breathe. Try to soften as much as you can through the right side of the body. Let it settle to the earth. Think about lengthening the leg out just as much as down. So you want it to open both directions. Deep breath in. Sigh it out. Lengthen through the leg. And then slowly, slowly start to draw back up. Pause here at center. And then if the right leg is extended, or I'm sorry, if the right leg is bent, go ahead and extend it. Slide it down the middle of the mat. Maybe shift your hips a little bit to the left. Hold the strap in the right hand. Start to draw the toes up and over. So we can think about bringing the foot towards the opposite shoulder first, and then maybe we continue up and over. But again, we want that up just as much as over. Right, shift your hips over, roll your shoulders down. If you find yourself in that full twist, which is shoulders down and that right foot all the way to the left, you can slide that right leg in, bend the knee, and hold with the left hand. So cat pulling its tail. Roll the shoulders down, soften the jaw, really lengthen through that left leg. If you're in that full twist, breathe. So really clearing out that cardinal earth energy, anything stuck or stagnant or excess. Any of that distraction or caught up in the authority outside of ourselves, the structures outside of ourselves. We have to find the wisdom within our own internal structure, our own internal authority, the ability to be both nurturing and nourishing, as well as our own authority, our own wise elder. And these energies get confused, right? Like there has to be a nurturer and a disciplinarian, right? Like they can't both be the sides of the same coin, which they are. And even within our own spiritual evolution, we need to both nurture and be disciplined. Sometimes nurturing is a huge discipline. It's a big discipline to take care of ourselves, to choose self-care, to come to practice, right? To climb the mountain, which is continuing to evolve and awaken and grow and do the work that is part of being conscious. Take a big, big breath in, hold that full moon point, and then sigh it all out. Bring it back to center one more time. Inhale. And on an exhalation, hug the left knee in, release the strap. Place the left foot down, right foot down, coming into supported bridge. If you don't have that block or book handy, maybe grab it. You can lift up into active bridge for a moment. Really, again, feel the feet. Feel the skull, feel the body stretching and lifting. And then when you're ready, put the support under your sacrum. Draw the shoulders on the back, lengthen through the skull. You can let the knees knock together or slide both heels out straight. Or perhaps slowly draw one knee in at a time, maybe giving them a little hug before you perhaps take both knees in and legs up. We'll be here for a couple minutes. Grounding, opening. So the supported heart opener is always nice during the full moon. The full moon affects our sleep, so we don't want to do too many back like heart openers and endorphin creating poses, but the supported bridge is a good one because it's very structured, right? But it's also a heart opener. And so slow down the breath. You can inhale 4, hold 5, exhale 7, or some interpretation of that. When in doubt, you can always just balance the breath, but that's a good one for slowing the nervous system and feeling the full moon, and then also that release. We'll take just a few more conscious rounds of breath here. Reaching your heart, your hips towards the sky. The full moon should still be quite full tonight. Take another big breath in. Hold. And then sigh. Place your feet back on the earth. Press down as you roll your hips up and move the prop. One vertebra at a time. Lower the spine. As the tailbone roots, stretch your legs long, reach your arms up, feel their whole body, every bone, every part, lengthen, stretch. And then sweep it around, hug in, hug the bones of the muscles, the body. That nurturing you can give yourself while also setting the healthy boundary. And you can stretch out onto the earth, back onto the earth for Shavasana. You can take the legs back up the wall, or if you'd like to roll over onto one side and rest, or over pillows, or sit in meditation. We just have a couple minute rest, but you're always welcome to, leave the practice if you want a longer Shavasana. Otherwise, give yourself a couple more moments to scan through the skeleton. Let your bones grow heavy into the earth, your skull, your ribs, arms, pelvis, legs. Do the bones grow heavy into the earth? As you open towards the full moon shining down through every layer of being all the way to the center of the bones. Your bones, the bones of the ancestors, the bones of the earth, the structure, skeleton that we stand upon that sustains us. Sometimes we have to move the bones, sometimes the bones break and then they are mended. In a lot of ways right now, we are in that process of breaking some old bones, some old structures and mending them, healing them, some that have been broken for generations. Under this full moon, which is the energy of the mama and the wise elder, we feel into the nourishing needed to discipline, to connect to that inner authority, to restructure and structure and work towards the wisdom. But for now, we rest, we receive, we release. The bones grow heavy as the full moon grows brighter. And we let everything else go, held from below, graced from above. The bones receive all of this full moon love. Om Shanti. And you can continue to rest. But if you are ready to move forward in your evening, start to breathe into your bones, breathe into the muscles, begin to enliven and awaken as you wiggle and stretch. Or perhaps you simply stay heavy and cozy as you roll to the left side. And if you choose, you can bring yourself up to sit. You might place your hands at your heart or hand to heart, hand to belly, or any way that feels good. I like the hand to heart, hand to belly. We seal the practice with 3 ohms. The first ohm for yourself, filling your cup on this full moon. The second ohm as an offering out. And the third ohm for our Mama Earth, our grandmother moon. If you'd like to join in, take a big breath. Inhale, slide the hands towards the heart, rub the palms, build some heat, gently rock, inhale. Exhale, left hand to the left palm up, right hand to the right palm down. We connect our virtual moon circle now and always. Inhale. And exhale, hands to earth, we bow. I bow to you. Thank you for practicing. Have a great rest of your night.